Shalom Yasharala. First and foremost, I'd like to start this lesson by giving all praises, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Recha HaKodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and taught me this 100% truth. Double salutations to the Akim out there, spreading this word in truth and sincerity, and shalom to the few Arquath that are listening in today. Back at you with another lesson entitled Count Yourself Blessed If You No Longer Fit In. Because excuse me, I think I might be coming down with a little something, I've got a little irritation in my throat. But anyways, when you come into this truth over time, you start to lose grip of that worldly life that you used to live, the worldly friends that you used to be around, the worldly acts you used to partake in. You might even start to lose family members, close friends, wives, children, quality of life. But fact of the matter is, you just no longer fit in. You're now an outsider. You've become separate from the rest. The scriptures talk about be ye separate. So when you come into this truth, you pretty much become a lone wolf, which is why I've got this picture here. Because now it becomes about you and Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And of course, the sincere brotherhood, if you're blessed enough to be around like-minded individuals, okay? But the fact of the matter is, you're no longer going to fit into this world no more, man. Because same way Yahweh Shai was not of this world, same way you're not of this world. And even if you try and force it, it just won't work out. You'll feel that your spirit is adverse to those people in the world, those old friends, those old family members. You'll feel it in your spirit that you're no longer, you don't really have anything you can relate on. Because here they are still worrying about football and Kim Kardashian and this new album and those new shoes. But all you're focused on is the kingdom and staying on the right path, doing this things, following the law, statutes and commandments to the best of your ability to ensure your salvation, that you don't really have time to be thinking about all this worldly nonsense that they do, because really and truly, you're thinking on a whole another level, man. You're thinking on a way higher level than the average human, man. So they can't comprehend spiritual things because they are not spiritually discerned, as it says in 1 Corinthians chapter 2. And that's why you no longer can see eye to eye with those worldly individuals anymore. So like you just have to take a sip of that water. Throat feels quite dry. And I had an example of that happen to me yesterday, actually. So yesterday was Saturday, and I was in Portugal for the past couple of days. So I came back into the country Saturday night, but in like the early hours of Saturday. So it was like, I got back home at, I'd say around like 3-4 in the morning. And I went to bed, woke up, and I wasn't really in the mood. I was a bit pissed off. Couldn't really put my finger to it though, but I don't know, I guess it's just the dark energy, the dark forces that are so prevalent in London. So I was just a bit wound up. And I got up in the morning and got out, done my few errands that I had to do, and one of my cousins, my mother told me one of my cousins will be coming over to visit. Now, ever since being in the truth, I don't really speak with family members like how I used to. Pretty much at all, to be honest, because we don't see eye to eye anymore. You know, there's nothing really we can relate on, because obviously I've embarked on this journey, seeking salvation, and this is in the world, and they don't see what I see, so, and that's fine. I don't hold them to it, but you know, being a man of the Lord, you learn to just respect people's differences. You know, if people don't want to hear the word, you don't force it down their throats. You know, you sort of just, okay, you don't want to hear it, then whatever, that's fine. So anyways, excuse me. So, yeah, so by the time I got back home, my cousin had arrived with his woman and his child as well. Okay. And, you know, my woman was actually in the house as well with them. And, you know, it was the first time she met my cousin. So, you know, whatever, they're talking and the whole family's talking or whatever. But, you know, the moment I've stepped into the house, you know, you could feel, I want to say tension, but, you know, you could feel the adverseness, if that's even a word, in the spirits between myself, my cousin, his woman, child, even my own my mother and my brother, right? Because my mum and brother, they ain't in the truth, and they don't, you know, they don't necessarily agree with the path I've taken, but that's fine. But anyways, so immediately I've walked in the door. My cousin put me on blast straight away, talking about, you know, in front of everyone, oh yeah, you don't say happy birthday to us, you don't check on us, we don't hear from you no more, this, that, and the other. And personally, like, man to man, like, you know, if you have an issue, like, pull me aside and we speak about it, but don't think you're gonna get, you know, the response you want by just putting me on blast in front of everyone. And, you know, personally, that shit don't sit well with me, man, because if I had a problem with you, I'd pull you aside and we speak about it like grown men. You know, I ain't gonna try and make a joke out of it. Because, you know, a lot of people do that to lighten the blow, to try and make a joke out of it, but it weren't funny. You know, so I just sort of was like, you know, I just been in my own thing now, you know, just been in my own world, you know. But, anyways, that happened, and then, you know, I pulled my woman to the side after some time. Because, you know, like, I was just trying to be nice and, you know, speak to them and whatever, but they were just being awkward with me, so I was like, well, I'm not really going to put in any effort anymore. I'm just going to go and do my own thing, which I had to go to camp anyway. So I just pretty much got up and just got ready. Didn't say anything to them since they was being awkward with me, which is fine. But, you know, so I put my woman aside and I was like, and she told me how, literally, just 10 seconds before I walked in the door, they was all, you know, talking bad on me. He's talking about, oh, yeah, you don't come check us and you don't visit us. You become a stranger now, X, Y, and Z. And then my cousin had actually made the comment saying that now you have to go through Jesus to reach him. You know, and when I heard that it didn't upset me, but it pissed me off. The reason why it pissed me off is because obviously, you know, I've been in this truth, and from my perspective, the only people I thought knew what I was doing was my mum, my brother, and my father. You know, but for him to say that means that obviously talks are being had about me that I'm obviously not aware of, and I feel it in the spirit, but no one admits to it. So whatever. So yeah, he said, you know, you have to go through Jesus in order to reach him. So then the moment I've heard that, also bearing in mind, all of this was said literally 10 seconds before I've walked into the house. And I've walked into the house. And it's like, well, it was so funny because I was rushing home to get to camp. But I was caught up in so much traffic and this was going on and that was going on. It's like the Lord, see, look, man, this is all the will of the Lord, man. Like just the way it all fell into place. Because now, 10 seconds after that comment has been made, I've walked in the door. And the Lord is pretty much like, the way I see it in the spirit, the Lord is like, okay, bro, you was giving all the chat. This is talking about my cousin, right? You was giving all the chat, right? Well, now here he is. Go speak your truth. Go pull him aside and let him know you got a problem with me not reaching out to the family, me becoming an outsider. Yet now that I'm here, it's just been turned into some massive joke. Like, oh yeah, well, you don't reach out to us, man. Oh yeah, you just do your own thing. Not like a proper, like a courageous man thing where you just pull me aside and have that hard conversation. So you can, and then I actually explain to you, look, this is what I do. I don't celebrate birthdays no more. I don't celebrate Christmas, so on and so forth. I can break it down to you, but because of the way you approach the situation, I'm just giving you some sheepish answer and, and then I found out what you'd actually been saying about me, and now I've just walked out the house, I've gone to camp, and I ain't giving you no acknowledgement because I can't respect it. But I say all of that to say this, man. As the title of this lesson is, count yourself blessed if you no longer fit in. Because the fact of the matter is, I no longer fit in with my family. I no longer fit in with a lot of my friends, pretty much all my friends. But that's okay. Man. This is how it's meant to be. We are being separated from the profane, man. And that's what the Lord does. You can read about that in Ecclesiasticus chapter 18. So that's what be going on, man. Excuse me. Because ultimately we see something. The men of the Lord are men of vision. They're visionaries. And we see something which is the kingdom, which the world cannot see. Okay? The world cannot see the kingdom of heaven. They can't see that Yahushua is coming back soon, but we can. Alright? But anyways, that's enough of story time. Let me get into the precepts, man. Because I know brothers have dealt with similar situations or are dealing with similar situations. Might even be worse than my situation. But it's perfectly normal, man. That's okay. That's how it's meant to be. That's part of the battle. All right? So this is Matthew chapter 5 and verse 10. And it reads, blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. So to persecute, meaning to be treated in like an ill manner, all because of maybe your sexual orientation, which of course, you shouldn't be gay anyway, right? Or your religious beliefs, which a lot of us brothers are treated ill due to us being in this truth, man. But it says, blessed are we. Okay, we are actually blessed, man. More than we realize. And when Yahushua comes with great glory, we're going to understand that we are truly blessed, man. Okay. Verse 11, blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. And my situation is a perfect example, man. Let's look up the meaning for revile. Let me just ask Siri on my other phone. Revile meaning says to criticize in an abusive or angrily insulting manner. Yeah. Oh yeah, nowadays you have to go through Jesus in order to reach him. All right. So that's an example of being reviled, persecuted, being treated in an ill manner. I'm trying to have some conversation with them. No one really wants to engage. So therefore, I just kind of walked away from it. And as I said, I had to go to camp anyway. But, I didn't say anything more. I didn't say any goodbye or whatever. I just walked out the door. Not that I was angry or anything, but I just felt like I didn't owe them any words. All right? And they're speaking all manner of evil against me falsely, when all I'm doing is striving for perfection, striving for the truth, striving for salvation. All right, but this is how it's meant to go, brothers. Okay, we are not of this world, man. And you might forget that sometimes. So the Lord has to do certain things to show you, listen, man, you ain't of this world. All right, hold your head up. Stay, seeking after me, but forget this world, man. You're not of it. Okay. Verse 12, rejoice and be exceeding glad, for great is your reward in heaven. For so persecuted they the prophets which were before you. So this is nothing new, man. There ain't nothing new under the sun. This has been happening, man. Prophets were always persecuted. When Yahweh Shai revealed to his people that he is the son of the Most High, they're like, what? Ain't that Joseph's son, little carpenter? They turn into niggas, man. So it's the same thing going on today. They looking at us like, oh, we are men of the Lord and the Lord is dealing with us. They're looking at us as some bums, man. Just some religious niggas with Bibles and dresses on, and they don't really see anything more to us. But they will do when, Salaki about that. I haven't eaten yet, it's early in the morning. It was 8:15, I woke up not long ago. But anyways, yeah, man, they don't see our glory yet, but 1 John 3:2, man, when Yahweh Shai shall appear, we shall appear with him with great glory, man. We shall appear like him, it says. And Yahweh Shai, the way Yahweh Shai is coming back this time around, now that's going to be something to see, man. That's going to be to your benefit if you're of the elect, but if you're of the 2/3 and you're the heathen nations, then boy, that's going to be to your demise, man. All right. Verse 13, ye are the salt of the earth, but if the salt have lost its savour, wherewith shall it be salted? It is thenceforth good for nothing, but to be cast out and to be trodden under foot of men. All right. And, usually when we use the scripture, we be talking about like Jake as a whole. All right. But let's specify it a bit more, man, because we are the salt of the earth. All right. We have this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding and truth. The Lord reveals his secrets unto us. So the salt of the earth, of course, is the nation of Israel, but beginning with the elect. All right. It goes on to say that ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. And we are the light because we, again, have this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Okay. Which is the light, The elites like to call themselves what? The Luciferians. Which means to be the light bearers. But really, we are the true Luciferians. We're the true Illuminati. The true illuminated ones. Because we have this light, this truth, this wisdom, this knowledge. All right? Let's go to Matthew chapter 19. And we'll start at verse 21. And it reads, Yahweh Shai said unto him, this was a rich man trying to enter into the fold. All right? And Yahweh Shai told him what would need to be done in order for him to be a part of the fold. So Matthew 19:21, Yahweh Shai said unto him, if thou wilt be perfect, go and sell that thou hast, and give to the poor, and thou shalt have treasure in heaven, and come and follow me. Because we're storing up treasures in heaven, okay? Not on this side, where moth and dust doth corrupt. Let me see if I can pull out, I think it's in 2 Corinthians 4:17. Yeah. 4:18. Well, yeah, we can start at 17. For our light affliction, which is but for a moment, worketh for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory, while we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal. So all these cars, clothes, holes, money, um, watches and houses that you see on this side, they're all temporal, man. But the things which we don't see, the kingdom of heaven, the chariots, immortality, us having slaves, us having other planets, us, you know, being completely righteous, spiritual power, those things are eternal, man, which we can't see right now. But those things are eternal, okay? And that's what, and the crown. You know, we're fighting for an eternal crown, not a corruptible crown on this side. Excuse me, okay? Let's go back to Matthew 19. And so we read 21. So let's read 21 again anyway. Yahushua said unto him, if thou wilt be perfect, go and sell that thou hast, and give to the poor, and thou shalt have treasure in heaven, and come and follow me. But when the young man heard that saying, he went away sorrowful, for he had great possessions. Then said Yahushua unto his disciples, verily I say unto you, that a rich man shall hardly enter into the kingdom of heaven. And again I say unto you, it is easier for a camel to go... Salaki, man. Excuse my belly. It wasn't rumbling like this, but now it is Salaki. Anyways, and again I say unto you, it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of the Most High. So it's a lot harder. If you have received your consolation here on this side, it's a lot harder for you to give it up and to put on the clothing of suffering for righteousness' sake when you got it all good already on this side. You know, Apostle Paul, he gave up his status in the world and his rich possessions in order to follow Yahushua. But that's still a very hard thing to do, and for the most part, not everyone is willing to do that. Okay. Verse 25. When his disciples heard it, they were exceedingly amazed, saying, who then can be saved? But Yahushua beheld them and said unto them, with men this is impossible, but with the Most High all things are possible. So pretty much you have to have the Spirit of the Lord dealing with you in order for you to make such a drastic step to giving up your worldly possessions, your worldly status, your worldly friends, and your life here in the world to take on the sufferings of following after Yahushua. Okay? Verse 26, but Yahushua beheld them and said, I read that. Verse 27, then answered Peter and said unto him, behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee. What shall we have therefore? And Yahushua said unto them, verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, okay, because Yahushua wasn't coming to establish his kingdom during this time. So, you know, we believe Peter was also King David, and King David came back in our time as King Marsha. Okay, so that's Peter following Yahushua in the regeneration, because when Peter came back as King Marsha, what was he doing? He was doing the work of the Lord. So therefore, and you know, he's in the spirit world right now, but he would be a part of the elect, and he will be returning alongside with Yahushua in great power and glory. Okay, so let's read verse 28 again. And Yahushua said unto them, verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. And everyone that hath forsaken houses, or brethren, or sisters, or father, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands, for my name's sake, shall receive 100-fold, and shall inherit everlasting life. So this is the sacrifice we have to make in this truth. We have to let go of our worldly lifestyle, worldly possessions, even some of our worldly companions, man, and follow Yahweh Shai, knowing that we're going to receive that 100-fold in the kingdom. Okay? But this is something not many are willing to do. That's why the scriptures say, for many are chosen, but few shall be saved. What's that? 2 Ezra 8. And verse 3, I believe. Matthew 19 and 30. But many that are first shall be last, and the last shall be first. Okay? So we're last right now. We're going to be first, man. And those who are outside of this truth, following after Satan, following after this worldly life, they are first right now. And they're going to be last. Okay? Let's go to the book of John, chapter 15, starting at verse 16. And it reads, Ye, this is Yahweh Shai speaking, ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you, and ordained you that ye should go and bring forth fruit, and that your fruit should remain, that whatsoever ye shall ask of the Father in my name, he may give it to you. All right, so we didn't choose the Lord, man. Whenever we woke up to this truth, that's when we was meant to wake up. And that was the Lord's doing, man. That was the Lord waking us up, knocking on our pineal gland. All right. 17, these things I command you, that ye love one another. Like, we got to, the brotherhood, man. We got to love one another, man, because we all going through some shit. Some speak about it and some don't. But we scripture say, let that brotherly love continue. All right. Verse 18, if the world hate you, ye know that it hated me before it hated you. Okay. If ye were of the world would love his own. But because ye are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hateth you. So there's nothing you can do, man. If you now have family members, friends, your woman, your children coming up against you because you want to follow after Yahweh Shai, that's just what comes with it, man. You either embrace it or you bitch up and you go back in the world, man, knowing that you're just going to be destroyed anyway. And your destruction is going to be way worse because it says, those who knew of me and forsook me shall be beaten with many stripes. I think that's in Luke. I think that's Luke 19, if I'm not mistaken, roughly paraphrasing. Okay. John 15 and 20. Remember the word that I said unto you, the servant is not greater than his Lord. If they have persecuted me, they will also persecute you. If they have kept my saying, they will keep yours also. All right. But the fact of the matter is, they're not keeping the sayings of the Lord. Rather they reject it. But you are, and that's why they come up against you. Okay. But for all these things will they do unto you for my name's sake, because they know not him that sent me. Because trust me, if they knew the glory and the power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, they'll put some respect on your name, man. But this world is under such a dark vibration, and they don't believe in the Lord, that they believe they can pretty much do whatever the hell they want, and there'll be no repercussions for it. But, they're in for a very, very, very rude awakening, man. All right. Verse 22, if I had not come and spoken unto them, they had not had sin, but now they have no cloak for their sin. See, they ain't got no cloak for their sins, man. Because, none of us is completely righteous. We're in this wicked flesh. So we go off from time to time. But as long as we're doing the work of the Lord, and we endure until the end, We will have a cloak for our sins, man. All right? But those who reject this truth, right, who don't want to hear, who want to mock and scoff, they ain't going to have no cloak for their sins, man. And you know, they're going to have to pay for what they've done. Okay? Verse 23, he that hateth me, hateth my Father also. So really and truly, you don't hate the men of the Lord. You don't hate, you don't hate the men of the Lord. Really, who you hate is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. And trust me, when that time of judgment comes, you're gonna wish you loved you're gonna wish you loved the Lord, man. But it is what it is, man. As the saying goes, if you don't hear, you must feel. As the elder Apostle Gabar says, where words can't teach, adversity will. Where words can't teach, adversity will. Okay, adversity, a difficult or unpleasant situation. We're heading into many difficult and unpleasant situations, man. 2nd Esdras 9 talks about how the same must know it after death by pain. So, you know, you take your pick, man. You either know it now, you suffer patiently, or you're going to know it after death by pain. Okay? Let's close out in 1 John 2 and 15. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world. And the world passeth away, and the lust thereof, but he that doeth the will of the Most High abideth forever. And we're doing the will of the Most High now, man. Striving to be the first fruits of the kingdom of heaven. Because, you know, those 2/3 of the nation of Israel that reject this truth, yeah, they're going to be in the kingdom of heaven as well. But they're gonna be shamefaced for a very, very, very long time, man. You know, looking at the elect, like, oh, man, I made mockery out of you on that side, man. Oh, I'm sorry. And, you know, they're pretty much going to have their head buried in the sand. And we're going to have to pull their heads out, like, hey, man, it's all right, man. Like, you know, we're here now. We're in the kingdom. Like, just cool now. You know what I'm saying? Like, just cool now. You all good now. You in your right mind now. You know, but that's going to be the case for a very long time, man. We don't want to bear that shame. Okay? So, yeah, man. Count yourself blessed if you no longer fit in, man. Because we are not of this world. Excuse me. We've been chosen out of this world, man. So, you know, because, you know, you might have brothers going through a similar situation, and, you know, maybe it's making you question your faith. And, you know, I was speaking with one of the beloved brothers from camp yesterday about what had happened. And, you know, the thing is, yeah, like, let's say, for example, you can come from a Christian household, and then one of you can turn around and say, you know what, I practice the religion of Islam. They'll be like, oh, yeah, you're okay, you know. Yeah, we respect your beliefs and your differences or whatever. Or, you know, oh, yeah, I sell weed or whatever. Oh, you know, yeah, times are hard. You got to do what you do to get by. The moment you tell them you're an Israelite, it's like, you're the worst thing on earth, man. Look at this fucking nigga, man. You have to get through Jesus to get through to this guy. And, you know, it's not respected, man. So, fact of the matter is, this has to be the truth, man. Because you can come out to your family as gay, you can come out as Muslim, come out drug dealer, a murderer, whatever. And, you know, they'll excuse you. But the moment you come in as an Israelite, nah. We ain't taking that brother on, man. Nah, man, that nigga weird. You know, that nigga an outsider, man. That, you know, but that's how you know this is the truth, man. All right. But anyways, I've pretty much made the point on that now. So hopefully this lesson has been edifying. And until the next time, I say shalom.